Stray Kids Hollow. Stray Kids Hollow. Ahoy. How delightful. Here we go. Lipstifer. These subs are useless. I'm turning them off.
Hall of Fame まだ先遠くて Shining Star その裏は All in Black プラスよりマイナスにむくめが無駄繰り返していないか気が抜けたようで全てが辛くて誰か思い出して乾き癒して繰り返すことへもなくどんな言葉も足りないどうかお願いも I can't take it no more 全て抱きしめ走っても Why do I feel hollow どんな場所にいても孤独になる I'm alone 愛が必要なのか一人でいるほど無理やり満たしても I'm so 雲の中のもの光ない夜名前もない心は空をさまよう全て抱きしめ走っても Why do I feel hollow どんな場所にいても孤独になる愛が必要なのか一人でいるほど無理やり満たしても I'm so hollow
Okay, I've got some pieces I'm going to try to put together. I don't think they're accurate at all, but if I had to kind of make sense of this, I'll give you what I got. And then before I do anything else, I'm going to read the lyrics because I wonder if what I have that I'm going to shotgun into the wall and try to make sense of, then we're going to see if we get some insight from the lyrics, okay? So here's some of the major pieces that I see potentially playing out visually, and then we'll see if we can make sense of that. First of all, we get the puppet. So the first thing we have is the name of the song, Hollow. Okay, we use that as a foundation. Now we build on that with this first shot, opening shot, attention getter of the puppet. We get the marionette using the puppet. Now the guys are the puppets, which is then confirmed by later shots where all of them are kind of held up and becoming the puppets, right? Now I do think there's something also to this kind of plank that, I thought it was Christopher right at the beginning. It's clearly Hyun Jin. The hair threw me off. I forgot that he's that now, just like me. But I think there's something to this plank because it also feels like a plank where there is a decision to be made. There is a precipice to be thrown off of, right? So there might be something there as well. So that's where all the guys are as puppets. We also have the curtain in the background. So there is a stage performance. But also, if you notice where the stage is, it's on a road. Right down the middle, we have the yellow line. We have the breakdown lane lines, and then we got the street lights in the back. So there's something about this road that they are on, the path that they are on, and how all these things kind of connect. It's about their journey, I think. Now those do look like trophies to me. At first I thought they were kind of like chalices that they were drinking out of, but they do seem like trophies, which will be part of the theory that I have. Still as puppets, still reiterating the fact that they are on stage, they are the focal point, and these chairs represent that. But I think where it takes a very clever approach is the seats are empty, right? Much like they may be kind of insinuating or implying that there are times as performers where even as the focal point, as the performer in the spotlight, it can feel empty. It can feel hollow. They can feel hollow. They can go through waves of losing their passion and trying desperately to like get that passion back because that's their role. They want to give the fandom what they want, the reason they're there. Certificates. Okay, so awards goes with the trophies. Now this is the part I thought was interesting so we go from like trophies and awards and certificates to this part right here, which this part seemed like it was the life force that they were kind of using as fuel in a way, right? Maybe. But I want to see what they do with it. Because there's parts of the choreography that feel like they are representing life. Like there's a lot of hand movements that do kind of feel like bird movements to me. And the outfits also having very, very bloomed, highlighted flowers also represents life. So if we go from the basic title and foundation of the song, which is Hollow, we then want to follow that trajectory to, well, what would the bookend to this be that would make sense? And that's life. To go from something that's hollow, like Pinocchio is just a puppet, he's just a toy, to all the way he's a real boy. And something about this is going to be the life that brings them from hollow to having that life, is my theory. Take it no more. And I really am hoping that the lyrics will kind of either fill in these gaps or kind of redirect us where we might stray. I wonder if it represents fame. I wonder if that necklace with the light is fame, and it's something that we've talked about recently, where if you chase it, and or idols, chase the fame, and then once they get it, and it's not just idols, it's celebrities, people that become famous. They chase the fame, and once they get it, they realize it's not what they thought it was, right? So it actually becomes a completely different thing than what they had always dreamed of in some way. All right, so let's look at this. So this shot here, I initially thought this was an ice bucket. That's how I took it. Now that seemed confirmed later on, but where I got confused was, well, what would the ice bucket mean? I was getting like wedding vibes, and some of the colors of the outfits, even with the flowers, had me feeling like Felix's outfit felt like a tux in a way, like an abstract tux, right? So the ice bucket will kind of piece together maybe, but this part here, you notice the arrow on the ground is pointing directly. That's getting our eye to look, bam, right here. We've got the cycle, we've got arrows going different directions, we've got street signs or path signs pointing every different direction, and then the guys all staring at them. Their buckets are down there. So this is like, which path do we choose? And then who was that? Paige just said social path. That kind of makes perfect sense. Which also then kind of matches with the road that we saw the stage being on. So we are referencing a path in some way. That's a nice touch. But you notice how they want to drive your attention over here so you understand what they're doing. And you notice they're not talking. They're literally just staring into these signs, because if you look over there, you see them. What are they looking at? Boom. So either the arrow draws your eye or the guys looking in that direction draw your eye one way or another.
Here
they go.
Hall of Fame, Madasaki Tokute, shining star, so no doubt all in black. Plus, you're my nice name, Kumega. Muda kurika shitai naika. Kiga no ketai o desubete ga tsurate. Dareka omoi, utashite kawaki, iyashite. Tranquilly kaesu koto e mo naku.
So they're all searching for things. You notice that?
I can't take it no more.
I can't take it no more. Do you think this shot right here could represent... Oh, what about this? Early on, they get the necklace with that bright shining light. That's potentially their first taste of fame, right? They have it, they're awarded it, now they have fame. As they continue to do things and they strive for more fame, they have their bucket, they're filling up the bucket, and then all of a sudden they do something wrong, or they're perceived in some way incorrectly according to society or the culture, and all of a sudden, boom, it all falls apart. Ooh, what was that shot? Did you notice that once he went in and grabbed that and pulled it out, the one he grabbed it from kind of like became hollow in a way? Watch. Now see Han down here, he just kind of sinks down and he stays there. As if without that, he's hollow. I mean, pieces like this make me think, I wonder if there is some level of somebody or some of them or all of them thinking, if we didn't have this fame, who would we be? You know, you start to get that identity question where you're not quite sure, you know, like, would I be the same person if I didn't have this fame, if I wasn't in the public eye? Or that's actually a really good point. Is it that the passion is stolen? The passion can be stolen. Interesting. I like that. So here we go. We got a bunch of pieces here. We've got multiple buckets strewn about. Some are still digging for fame. And then right here in the center is a pretty significant shot. We still have the path signs everywhere, the circles, the loop. But notice they're all apart. They're all separate. They're all having their own journeys in how they're dealing with the fame, I'll say. And then this right here makes me feel like once you get so much fame, it eats you up. So notice the difference here. If these pieces, these diamonds or ice or whatever you want to call it, these are fame, you notice everybody else is really enthralled by these little chunks and these little pieces. And they're just like, oh, good, good, good. And yeah, you hear the cameras, you hear the photos being taken, the paparazzi. But right here is so much fame right in the center that once it devours you, it just takes you. And that's why we see that body position change. Now I agree with you about Icarus. This right here was not enough for me to say there's a parallel to Icarus. This right here, especially on the ladder, perfect, because we get the sun right here. The squinting into the sun, perfect. Because I was also looking for wings too, but I think this climb is very, very good. Yeah, very good. Now you notice that facial expression? That right there. That is a hunger for more. It's a hunger for fame. It's what that journey looks like, where it becomes addicting. It's never enough. Now, I don't know if they're implying that this is something that they have experienced or they're experiencing now. It's a struggle that they have to kind of keep in check, or maybe they're just being very general with what this role feels like as an idol. So now let's see what happens once he gets there. There's the sun, perfect. Still trying. That's it. You perfect. Perfect. And this is that hunger. Reaches, still not close enough. And then once that greed takes over, hashtag greedy, it still ends up sending you over the edge. You went too far. All right, so at this point, let's see where they go. If our theory is right with fame and the climb and the parallel with Icarus, now let's see where they bring it as kind of a full circle thing. How do they make sense of it in? What's the point? Wow. What was that? So there's blood, which goes back to the life idea. But I'm assuming this is also just another piece. It's like they're trying so hard to keep that fame with them. it's not birds. Watch the hand movement here. So the hands here is kind of this back and forth here where it's almost symbolizing they can't keep a grasp on it, right? So they grab the fame, it gets away. They grab it again, it gets away. And it's this constant struggle of the push and the pull. It's right there. So when you get this, it's gone. And I get it back and it's gone again. And it's a constant pull. I do think it's interesting too. It's really subtle and I might be reaching. But when they're doing this beat, it also feels like a heartbeat. So I could almost see them, I could see the theory working really deep down to where that is also becoming like a symbol of their lifeblood. So it's in their heart, it's part of them, it's ingrained in their DNA, where as much as we struggle, it's part of us. Single tear. Now notice the production is falling apart. I didn't catch this before. So watch right here. We still have them going. There's a spotlight on them. Watch the center of this little chair stage over here. This is the parachute down, the blood, the fame around him. The tear. And then right here, we have what looks like a downed light from the production. So things are falling apart. Crashing down, curtain closed. It's over, through the curtain, still on the road. That look right there is important. Because look what happens. So yeah, the cycle repeats. Totally agree. But watch what happens. It's one person, right? Felix comes back. He gets down. He grabs as much of it as he can. He doesn't want one piece left. He picks it up. He examines it. Do I want this again? Am I going for this? It has that glow. Still considering it, but that look to us tells us everything we need to know. Yeah, I'm in it again. You know what this means, don't you? That's what that look says to me. I do it all again. Yeah. So it's really interesting. I want to dig into the lyrics here, but I'd be curious to see. I think the lyrics are going to give us kind of the why they're presenting this story this way, because this could take one of two paths. Pun absolutely intended, because genius. Totally kidding. That's sarcasm, by the way. This could either mean they are saying this is a struggle that we have and we have to keep it in check because the machine works this way. We're in the machine. This is part of what being an idol looks like. Or it could be, these are the struggles we face, but regardless of those struggles and how much this can take a toll on us as humans, we would do it all over again because we love the climb. Even, you know what I mean? Like, we have impact, we have a message. So I could see it being one of two ways. Let's check out the lyrics, see what we get. Speaking of genius. All right, you ready for this? Here we go. Let's see if we can crack the code. Hollow. Without glancing aside, I kept running forward. As if pulled by something, I came all the way here just like that. My bucket list has so many checks, but somehow I'm still not satisfied. Someone aim for the sun and quench this thirst. trying again and again with no answers. No words are ever enough. Please, I'm begging you, I can't take it no more. Even if I hold everything close and run, why do I feel hollow? No matter where I am, I end up feeling lonely. I'm alone. Is it love that I need? The more I'm by myself, even if I force it to feel full, I'm so hollow. Lately, I've been feeling more flat than sharp. Stacking up a career I built with pride. Hall of Fame is still far away. That shining star hides a world all in black. My eyes drift more to the minus than the plus. Am I just repeating things in vain? It's like all the air is gone out of me. Everything just hurts. Someone, please fill me with emotion. Quench this thirst. Trying again and again, no answers. No words are ever enough. Please, I'm begging you. I can't take it no more. Even if I hold everything close and run, why do I feel hollow? No matter where I am, I end up feeling lonely. I'm alone. Is it love that I need? The more I'm by myself, even if I force it to feel full, I'm so hollow. Moon in the clouds, a night with no light. A heart without a name, I drift through the sky. Even if I force it to feel full, I'm so hollow. So to me, it feels like the first theory that we had, that this is the struggle they experience, and that climb is a very difficult one on what it does to a person and what it does to them repeatedly, and how they try and try again, no answers, and they just can't take it. They feel hollow. Wow. I don't know if I could say he's breaking the fourth wall, only because in most of the video, they are addressing us directly. So while generally a look into the camera and some kind of acknowledgement of us as the audience does mean it's a break in the fourth wall, this shot would not be really unique to the rest of the video. And music videos are kind of like that because they constantly seem to acknowledge us. Benny rapped right to us. We had several looks like Puppy sang right to us. But I do think, though, it is an extremely important acknowledgement of this relationship between us as the audience and the idol. Now, right here, it's Felix, of course, but it could be any one of them, and it would still make the exact same connection, as it should. And it's blinding. You notice that there's no detail. It's just blinding. And this is too deep to be intentional, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't think it's a coincidence that between Felix and us as the audience, the fandom, that fame is the barrier, right? That is going to always be between him and us. So it can act as a barrier of protection. It can be a barrier of danger. It can represent a whole bunch of things. But the fact of the matter is that it'll never really be any other configuration than what you see right here. You're never going to have that fame go back here and then it's us and Felix hanging out having a Mountain Dew or a Yoo-Hoo. No, it's always going to be between us. That's just the way it goes. Yep. Man, I loved this. Y'all chose well. This was fantastic. This is the kind of deep dive that I live for. Do you think we missed anything? Do you think there's anything lingering that was really a highlighted point that we didn't get from our initial kind of breakdown and analysis and then throwing the lyrics back in there? Or do you feel like we've got a pretty good handle on it? Also, when they went inside the curtain, it was dark, and right now it shines bright from the back as well as his hands. Yeah, absolutely. Darker flowers. They got darker as it went on. Curious about the posters in the beginning. I'm assuming you mean when they got the awards. Is that what you mean? Like these right here? If it's the ones I'm thinking of, I'm thinking caricature. So let's see what we get. So there's the first time we see them. We're going to see them again when they get their awards, their necklaces around their necks. Oh, these right here. So these to me are caricatures. You notice they're really beaten, they're really bloody, but they are kind of caricatures. They're not like real pictures. Same way when you go to a carnival and some artist draws you and your chin is this big and your teeth are gigantic. Yeah, they're also kind of very puppet styled. But the idea of this, I think, aside from the very obvious fact that they are like beaten and bruised and bloodied, it's that they are caricatures. So you're seeing these idols get kind of beaten down by the fame. Higher they go, the harder they work, the more it kind of beats them down. But you notice though, again, getting deep and throwing some real goofy theories out there, I think it's just enough caricature to be a persona on somebody, but they still are human enough to go, that could be a person. A persona on an idol is really just a thin veil. It's a facade of, okay, well, I'm going to use this persona to protect the actual me so that as I get attacked, they're really attacking the persona. They're not really attacking me as a person. But the reality is that as humans, we're still taking it personal one way or another. It's just kind of a very slight psychological barrier that we put up to try to protect ourselves. This absolutely overlap, 100%. Yeah, and they're still smiling even though they're beat up. That's a great point. Yep. You don't understand why holes are appearing after every camera shot? Do you mean between scenes? So we get the bolt cam here. We kind of, well, not bolt cam. We track Felix here. You can see the strings as the puppets here as well. While Han was falling. While Han was falling? Holes like in the buckets means they can never be filled. Yes, great point. They suffer but maintain a smiling mask. Yeah. So I think that's pretty awesome. Well done on all of you for contributing, and well done on me for taking all of your ideas that you typed and then saying them out loud as if they were my own. Well done. I hope you enjoyed this. I love this video. I think it's great. I think it's brilliant. This is exactly what I'm after. When we pull up an MV and it's got some meat that we can just jam in there. Bite after bite. Oh,